Hello, Chelsea fans. Welcome back to the Blues Report, and remember to subscribe, then enjoy your news. Let's dive in. A new blue era, Xavi Simons and Alejandro Garnacho's journey to Chelsea. The summer of 2025 was already shaping up to be one of the most eventful in recent Chelsea history. The West London Giants had just wrapped up another season under Enzo Maresca, a campaign that had delivered moments of promise, but also exposed gaps in creativity, pace, and composure in the final third. The Stamford Bridge faithful craved more. The ownership, led by Todd Boehly and Behdad Eghbali, knew something dramatic had to happen if Chelsea were to reclaim their place at the summit of English football. Two names quickly rose to the top of Chelsea's ambitious transfer list: Xavi Simons and Alejandro Garnacho. It was a pairing that, at first glance, felt almost too bold to be real. A Dutch playmaker with the flair of a seasoned artist and an Argentine winger with the explosiveness of a street football prodigy. But bold was exactly what Chelsea needed. The vision Maresca's vision for Chelsea hinged on dynamic positional play, fluid transitions, and an attacking structure that could stretch even the most disciplined defensive blocks. To make this work, he wanted two things: a midfielder who could dictate tempo between the lines, and a forward who could destabilize defenses with pace and unpredictability. Xavi Simons, fresh from a remarkable season at RB Leipzig on loan from Paris Saint-Germain, ticked every box for the creative role. His balance of vision, work rate, and technical artistry made him one of the most sought-after talents in Europe. Chelsea's recruitment team were convinced he was more than just a short-term signing. He was the kind of player who could shape the identity of the squad for years. On the other wing of the project stood Alejandro Garnacho. The 21-year-old had quickly risen to stardom at Manchester United, becoming a fan favourite for his fearless runs, decisive goals, and ability to produce magic in high-pressure moments. But behind the scenes, tensions over playing time, tactical fit, and the club's uncertain direction had left Garnacho open to a new challenge. Chelsea sensed opportunity and pounced. The negotiations. The deals for both players were anything but straightforward. PSG, who still held Simon's registration, were reluctant to lose him permanently. Manchester United, meanwhile, were equally resistant to the idea of selling Garnacho to a direct Premier League rival. But Chelsea's recruitment department, now a well-oiled machine in handling complex multi-club negotiations, approached both cases with strategic precision. For Simons, Chelsea negotiated directly with PSG while also engaging Leipzig, where he had just completed his loan spell. The pitch was clear. At Stamford Bridge, Xavi would not be just another attacking option. He would be the creative heartbeat. PSG, aware of the player's desire for stability and regular Champions League football, agreed to a structured deal, a 65 million Tolzont package with performance-based add-ons and a sell-on clause. The Ganacho situation required even more delicacy. United's hierarchy initially laughed off Chelsea's approach, but the players' camp quietly made it known that he was open to listening. Over several weeks, Chelsea and United held tense meetings. Ultimately, a record $85 million transfer fee, making Garnacho the most expensive Argentine in Premier League history, convinced United to reluctantly accept. The announcement day. The official announcement shook the football world. Chelsea revealed the signings on the same day, releasing a cinematic video showing Garnacho and Simons walking through the tunnel at Stamford Bridge, blue kits in hand. Social media exploded. Pundits debated whether Chelsea had just assembled the most dangerous young attacking duo in England. Garnacho's words in the unveiling press conference were confident, but humble. "I know what Chelsea represents: ambition, passion, and history. I'm here to win, to create moments for the fans, and to write a new chapter." Xavi Simons, sitting beside him, nodded before adding, "This is the place where I can express my football. The Premier League is a dream, and Chelsea feels like the perfect home." First days at Cobham. The first training sessions at Cobham Training Centre were intense. Maresca immediately integrated both players into tactical drills, emphasizing the importance of positional awareness. Simons operated in advanced midfield spaces, threading passes to break defensive lines. Garnacho, on the left wing, constantly tested defenders with his acceleration and sharp cuts inside. Senior players like Reece James and Enzo Fernandez welcomed the newcomers warmly. James, Chelsea's captain, was particularly vocal in encouraging Ganacho during small-sided games, while Enzo struck up an instant understanding with Simons during passing sequences. Maresca was impressed. "They already play with the intelligence of players who understand my football. They have energy, but also patience in possession. That is rare in players so young." The tactical impact. In Maresca's system, Simons quickly became the creative hub. His ability to drop deep and collect the ball allowed Chelsea to transition fluidly from defense to attack. His passes, often threaded between defenders, created space for Garnacho to exploit. Garnacho's role was more direct, to terrify full-backs, force defenders to double up on him, and create chaos. This, in turn, freed up space for Cole Palmer on the opposite side and Nicholas Jackson through the middle. Chelsea's attack suddenly had variety. Intricate build-up on one side, raw pace, and unpredictability on the other. The Premier League soon learned that defending against this Chelsea side required more than just tactical discipline. It demanded perfect concentration for 90 minutes. The first big test. The first real glimpse of their partnership came against Liverpool at Anfield. Chelsea, under pressure from a relentless Liverpool press, found an escape route when Simons picked up the ball deep in midfield. With a single disguised pass, he bypassed 3 Liverpool players, releasing Ganacho into space. The Argentine darted past Trent Alexander-Arnold and smashed a shot past Alisson into the top corner. The goal was pure theatre, technique, vision, and execution in perfect harmony. Chelsea won 3-1, and Maresca's gamble on youth was already paying dividends. Bond beyond the pitch. What surprised many was how quickly Simons and Garnacho built a friendship off the field. Both shared a love for street football, music, and a competitive edge in training games. Videos of the pair laughing during rondos or attempting outrageous trick shots in shooting drills flooded Chelsea's media channels, further endearing them to fans. They began spending time together outside football, often seen exploring London or attending basketball games. "It's important to have that connection," Simons said in an interview. "When you trust someone off the pitch, the understanding on the pitch becomes natural." Fan reaction and cultural shift. Stamford Bridge, often criticized in recent years for a subdued atmosphere, came alive again. The shed end roared every time Garnacho picked up the ball on the wing. Simons' name was sung after every incisive pass. The buzz extended globally, with Chelsea shirts bearing Garnacho 17 and Simons 14 selling out within weeks. Their arrival also marked a cultural shift within Chelsea. The club, once heavily reliant on experienced stars, now embraced a new identity: youthful, fearless, and technically refined. Maresca had his blueprint, and the players had bought into it completely. Looking ahead, by mid-season, Chelsea were firmly in the top 3, with Simons leading the league in assists and Garnacho among the top scorers. The prospect of silverware suddenly felt realistic again. The FA Cup, Premier League, and even a deep Champions League run were within reach. Pundits warned of burnout and the dangers of overhyping young stars, but both players remained grounded. Garnacho spoke of improving his decision-making in the final third, while Simons emphasized learning to dictate games against deep defending sides. The ultimate goal was clear: to turn Chelsea's revival into sustained dominance. Conclusion: the double signing of Xavi Simons and Alejandro Garnacho was more than just a transfer statement. It was a declaration of intent. In a league brimming with talent, Chelsea had secured 2 of the brightest stars of the new generation, perfectly suited to Maresca's footballing vision. If the first months were any indication, the Blues faithful could be on the brink of witnessing one of the most exciting eras in club history, one defined by creativity, fearlessness, and the unshakable bond of two young superstars who chose to paint London blue.